We are live. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our series 90 Day with Digital Business. Change your mind, change your life. And today we have a very special guest come to our page to tell us about her story, her success, and her achieving when she do this business. That's it, Miss Debra from all the way from Mexico. Hi, Miss Debra.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Hi. You are very popular, very famous. Sorry. In our community, everybody know about your story. Coach Lan Bui, she is my coach, and she tells story about you very much. So that's why I say, okay, this is my first time have a foreign to my page. I say, oh, I have to speak English. I'm kind of a little bit nervous and like shy, but I said I have to over my fears to invite her to my page, and
Oh,
I got this. Yes, so face
God,
over fear. Yes.
yeah,
Before we start our interview, could you please tell us a little bit about you, yourself, your background?
sure. So, first of all, for people that don't know me, my name is Debra McClanagan. I'm first and foremost a child of God. I'm a mother of six, a grandmother of 19, and soon to be a great grandmother number nine. I'm just waiting for the call.
Oh,
I'm just waiting for the call. So, anyways, and I'm a successful online business owner, but as you guys all know, that wasn't always the case. I started this business February 9th, 2017. So my 7-year anniversary is coming up in 1 month. And when I started this business, I knew the day that I saw the ad about this business, I knew it would work. But I had no idea, how it was going to work or how I was going to do it or how long it would take because they were talking about social media and I thought, I don't even know how to put my picture on Facebook. How am I going to do social media? But you know what? You learn. Whatever you put your mind to, you learn. And I had a goal years and years ago that I always wanted to live in Mexico. I grew up on the east coast of Canada and raised six children on the east coast of Canada. After they all moved out, graduated from high school, and finished their universities, then I moved to Alberta, Canada, very north where it's very cold, gets minus 52 there in the winter months. So it gets very cold. So my dream of moving to Mexico became stronger and stronger because, I was working for one of the oil companies up there making very, very good money. And then in 2015, October 28th, actually, I'll never forget that day, 2015, my position of many years was eliminated. So I lost my job. And that my boss gave me a letter of recommendation to go elsewhere because I knew I'd get a job. I was so confident, I'm going to get another job because I'm good at what I do. I've got over 40 years experience and I was confident I was going to get a job, but I thought, they gave me a great severance package. So I thought I'm taking a year off work because I've always worked. My children were growing up. I worked. I had six kids. We didn't have maternity leave when I was having babies, and you'd have a baby on a Friday and back to work on a Monday. There was no maternity leave. You didn't work, you didn't get paid. So, I thought I'm taking a year off work. I have never had a year off work. Like I'm taking a year off, and I'm going to travel and pay off some bills and so that's what I did. I took a year off work, and then when the year, I thought I'm going to start, looking for work now. So I had to do a resume, which is something I used to do for other people, do resumes for them to find work. Now I'm doing it for myself after all these years, and I started looking for work, and I soon had to come to the realization that people didn't want to hire anybody over the age of 60, and I was 60 years old at the time. So they did not want to hire anybody over 60. So I thought, oh gosh, what am I going to do? Because 2 years prior to that, we had life happen to our family. And it took all of our savings, investments, and everything we had, our retirement plan, to help out with our family member. 2.5 years, we spent in court and, helping out our family member. And we won our case. So it was worth every penny that we used, but we were broke. I mean, broke. So, anyways, and I was not worried about that because I thought, I got years left that I can build this up again, and because I'll be able to still work. But that came to a halt real fast. So did all my dreams. Like, all my dreams just whoop down the drain. There was no, dream of moving to Mexico ever, because once I was laid off just before I turned 60. So that means my pension went down to rock bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that made it bad too. So I thought I had all this time to be able to, gather up pension money and you know, build up for my retirement, but it was taken from me and abruptly. And so I had to start looking online, and I thought, well, I can go be a Walmart greeter. I can greet people coming in the door. It's minimum wage. It's a job. I can do this, but I'm going out in the cold. And then my friend said, well, I work online. I don't get paid a lot, but I get paid more than minimum wage, and I don't
Mhm.
have to leave my house, and I do data entry online. So I thought, well, I could do something like that, you know? So I started looking online, and oh my gosh, some of these things that I ran across online, it's like, people really fall for these things. Like, they're pretty scary, some of them out there. Like, oh my goodness, I don't know whether because I'm older and I recognize these things where other people don't, but I thought, oh my goodness. So, anyways, this ad, kept running across my page and running across my page, and I kept sort of ignoring it because I thought, I've looked at these things and they're scary, and they want such big money and getting nothing in return, like no product, no nothing. They just want money, money, money. So finally, it was like, because I had prayed, Lord, I just need something that I can do for the rest of my life so I can live in my home, be comfortable, and not be a burden to my children. That's all I'm asking. Just enough to have money coming in to pay the bills and support myself. All I want in life. So, anyways, it was like the Lord said, I'm giving it to you and you're just letting it slide by. So I finally looked at their ad. And when I watched that information session that first time, I knew this business would work because I'm an accountant by trade, and I seen the numbers, and I knew it was not going to be a get rich scheme, which was what I really liked. Although I would have liked to have had the money instantly, but I knew it was more beneficial for me to build something sustainable so that I could have an income coming in for the rest of my life. And that's what I seen in this business, that you can build your business to a level where you have money coming in all the time. You get your residual built up, but it wasn't going to happen quickly. So I thought, wow, I can do this. And then they were talking about the social media and putting your picture on Facebook. And I was one of these people that kept the duct tape on my computer so that people couldn't see me. And my daughter kept saying, Mom, people can't see you unless you have your camera on. And I said, well, I'm just making sure, it's on there. And then they tell me, oh, you got to put your face out there. You got to talk. You got to do go lives. And I'm saying, I can't talk on social media. Like, I can't do that, and you need to do this. And I thought, well, if I want this bad enough, I will learn to do whatever I need to do. And I could see the future in it. And I seen what the business had already done in a short time to other people that were already in the business. And I thought, wow, if that person can do this business, I can do it, right? Like, here's a farmer, and if he can build this business, I can do it too. So, and because I'm capable of learning. So on February 9th, 2017, I became an online entrepreneur. I became a business owner in this business. And it's just, I started the training, and the training we have is above and beyond anything I've ever seen. I used to teach contracts part time in the community college. And I've never seen a training program like this. This training program is so awesome that, if you can, someone said to me, how hard is the training program? And I said, well, do you know how to read? And they said, yes. And I said, well, do you know how to turn on a video? And they said, well, yeah. I said, well, then you can do our training because it's all video based. So you're looking at it. And then it got to me, oh no, that doesn't look like mine. My computer looks like this and their computer looks like that. And thank God I had my 12-year-old grandson. He's 19 now, but he was 12 at the time. And he said, Grandma, they probably used a different computer than yours. This is my 12-year-old grandson. And he said, they probably used a different computer than yours. So that means that it's going to look a little different, but just look around yours. You'll find it on your computer. And so you just have to, look around a little bit. I said, oh my gosh, there it is. There it is. And he said, and anyways, anything you want to do, you just Google, how do I, for example, put a picture on Facebook using my MacBook Pro, and it'll give you instructions for your computer. Or if you're using, an Acer, my Windows, whatever type of computer you have, it'll give you the answer for exactly what it is you want to do. And I thought, wow, I can do that. So Google and I became good friends. We argued sometimes. Now, if you can imagine, my daughter would come in and say, who are you talking to? And I'd say, this Google doesn't know what I'm trying to ask it, right? Mom, oh my gosh, we're going to put you in a home soon. Yeah. But anyways, I did it. And I still to this day use Google all the time. It's my best friend. And because I still don't have all the answers after all the years, but I do know that if you follow the system, do the training exactly the way it's laid out, don't waver from it, don't try to think you know better than what the training is, then this business will work because it's a proven system that works. And I find too that when there's a change made in the training, it doesn't matter how long you're in the business. We need to go back and redo that training.
Yes.
Because how can I teach somebody else or help somebody else if I don't know what's up to date? I could be teaching them wrong. And we don't want to do that. And to me, someone said, well, you put a lot of time into it. And I said, yeah, but I reap the benefits of it. And I help a lot of people. And I can't help people if I give incorrect answers, right? I need to know. And if I don't, and I don't have all the answers, but I need to know where to go find the answers, right? And I need to teach others how to go find the answers. So, and that's as simple as this business is just learning for ourselves what to do. And the most important thing is helping others do the same. And that's the one thing I love. I get the question asked to me a lot, what's the best part about this business? And I say the people. The money is great, but the people is what makes me want to wake up in the morning. The people is what wants me to come and turn my computer on. The computer or the people is what makes me want to meet with them, whether, whatever group they're in or whatever. Yesterday, I got to meet with these two young guys. Oh my gosh, my heart melts for them. One of them is from Ontario, Canada, and the other one is from Ecuador. And I spent the day with them yesterday, and just amazing. They're business partners. They're business people here, not in my group. I never met them before until yesterday, other than talking to them online or on Zoom or whatever. And it was like meeting my grandkids. It was like meeting my kids, It was so nice to meet them. And I really hated to see them leave yesterday because they went back home. So, this business is about people. That's why they say it's attraction marketing. It's about people, and we need to love on each other, and we need to help each other no matter what. If we find something that works better for our business, we need to tell the training site committee so that we can share that. And I find, don't be afraid to share your knowledge. And if everybody shares their knowledge, it's going to make it easier for the new people coming on, because, you know, I've been in the business for almost 7 years. I didn't have that full training that we have today. We were paving the path. We were making all the mistakes. So I can tell people what not to do, because if there was a mistake, we all made it, like in the very beginning, right? And if there's a stupid question, I've asked it, right? So don't ever don't ever be afraid in your business to ask a question, because that's what we need to know. If we have a question, how can we find the answer? Don't ask. So don't ever be afraid. And I tell my people all the time, like, if you have a question, don't think it's ever stupid. If I giggle, that's because I know the answer, because I asked the same question, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, don't, that's, and that's people that are coming into our business. They have no idea. Like, you know, when they come into our business, they're given a personal mentor and a personal coach. So you got one-on-one, you know, and they're given a group of people. You know, sometimes, you know, you don't always work with your mentor or your coach because they're busy, or, you know, they got a huge group, but you find somebody that else you can work with. It doesn't matter if you're financially tied. There's no competition in this business. And that's one of the most amazing things about it. And that's why the people love each other so much, is because we can help each other, right? Just amazing.
Yes. And you came to this online business when you were 60, and
Yes.
you proved that your age is no bar for doing this business. And you just have created a group of for people of over 50 years old
Yes.
that in our community. And could you please share some thoughts how senior can do this business? Thank you.
You know, in Canada, and Hannah, you're from Canada,
Yes.
people that if you work for a company and you're fortunate enough to have a great pension, that's awesome. Or if you were fortunate enough to be able to put money away or to get investments and things, you know, a lot of people did our RSPs back then, and now they take it out thinking they're going to have this money, but now they got to pay the taxes on it. So
Yeah.
they still are cut down to 50% of what they would have had. So, you know, anyways, Canada Pension and OAS in Canada, more senior citizens are living on the street today in Canada than anywhere else. In the hometown where I raised my children, there are senior citizens living on the street because they cannot afford the rent. They're
Yeah.
living on the street. They're living in their cars. And how sad is that? Because this one gentleman in particular that I'm talking about, he had a really high paid 6-figure income years ago, and the company closed. That means there's no pension. And that means you live on OAS and Canada pension. And that's not enough money a month coming in to pay rent, let alone your electrical and your bills and your food. And, you know, there's just, and medications. A lot of people, you know, when they become seniors, pay a lot of money out for medications. I thank God every day I don't take any medications because, you know, we have wonderful products, right?
Yeah.
That keep us healthy. But, you know, it's amazing what happens with seniors, and people that are approaching that age should be looking at this business now, because it's not get rich quick. It does take time. Don't wait until you're so broke that you can't do something to help yourself, because, you know, it's a business and businesses do cost, you know, but we train you how to do it at the best prices, right? The cheapest price you can do. We help you build this. And there's so many ways to build this business, you know, depending on your finances. And you just need to, every senior citizen should be doing this, because why struggle? You know, if I was in Canada right now and I did not have this business, I would be a burden to my children. I would have to live with one of my children because Canada Pension and OAS just does not do it, right? It would not pay the rent in Fort McMurray to have a place of your own. It would barely pay for a rent of a room in someone else's home. So, you know, it's like there's no reason for seniors to suffer today when we have businesses like this, but they need to start doing it before they're so financially strapped that they're living on the street. How does someone live on the street start an online business? It is possible, but it's going to be very difficult for them, right? They don't have a home. They apparently probably don't have a computer or even a phone anymore because the Canadian cell phones are very expensive, right? To have a cell phone every month. And if you're homeless, what do you pay for? You pay for your food and heavy blankets and sleeping bags, to keep you warm so you don't freeze to death in Canada. Like, it's really sad. I just would love to see every senior citizen, everybody that's between the ages of 50 and 60, to start this business now so that, when they are 65, like I'm going to be 68 years old. And last summer I went to Toronto for 2 weeks. I flew to Fort McMurray for 2 weeks. I went to Calgary for a week. I went back to Fort McMurray for 2 weeks. I went to Rocky Mountain House for a week. I went to Toronto again, and then I went to New Brunswick for 2 weeks, and then back to Toronto again, and then back here to Mexico. You can't do that living on OAS and Canada pension. It's impossible, right? They can't do that. I got to see my kids and grandchildren, and if you're living on OAS and Canada pension, you can't do that. So that's just Canada. And I don't know what the pensions are like in other countries. I know in the United States, they're not that great either, right? They're about the same. So, like, people need something to fall back on. And for young people, like, I have to, I'm sorry, I'll take up all your time. I talk. I have such a passion when it comes to this business. But years ago, I gave my children. Now, this is going away from seniors because I could talk on that all night because I don't understand why everybody doesn't take a look at this business. I don't care if they're 18 or they're 100. They need to take a look at this business and see how it's changed so many people's lives, right? So, years ago, after all my children, graduated from high school and from university, and they're starting families of their own, and I gave them this book. I don't even know where I found it. I think it was one of these people who used to go with magazines door to door years ago. I don't remember the name of the company. But this book was about their childhood, the good, the bad, the ugly of their childhood, was what their parents did that they liked, what they didn't like, their siblings, their friends, their home, their bedroom. Like, it was everything about their childhood. And anyways, I gave it to the kids. And then after I gave it to them, I thought, oh gosh, do I want to know what kind of a horrible mother I was? Like, and I said to them, don't be afraid to hurt feelings because this may change the way you parent your children. If I did something as a mother that really upset you or affected you or, caused you issues in life, then by writing that down and letting me know, that's going to change. You can break that cycle or whatever and not do it with your children. That could help you be a better parent. So anyways, my youngest daughter gave it back a little over 3 months. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, I know what a horrible parent now I am. Because out of 6 kids, she's the only one I butted heads with as a teenager. Of course, being the youngest too, right? So anyways, she gave it back quickly, and I didn't read it for a while because I thought, I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Like, but I finally read it. And I shed tears of happiness. I shed tears of sadness because, some of the things that she talked about and stuff, it was like, oh my gosh. And at the very last page, it said, if you could change just one thing in your entire life growing up, what would it have been? And I get emotional every time I say it. She said, I wished my mother had not worked so much and she had been home more. I will never get that back as long as I live. So I see Vanny with their baby and Helen has children. And I don't know if you guys have younger children, but you guys are doing what you're supposed to do. God didn't put us on this planet to work, pay bills, have no life at all. He put us on this planet to have children and to love them and to bring them up in the way we're supposed to. So you know what? Nowadays, because of our economies and the prices of cost of living, it takes two parents to work. Two parents, and then you barely scrape by, right? So you guys are doing what I wished I could have done years ago. You're building a business so that you can be with your children, because it wasn't fun coming home. Did you know she said mama today? Or do you know he said daddy today? Or they took their first step today. You miss it all. But you know what? The Obesios, Roxanne and Dave, are such an inspiration to me when it comes to children. They did life right. They didn't do like I did everything backwards, right? But they did life right. You know, they got married. They became successful in this online business. They paid off their bills. They built a brand new home, and then they had a child. They did it right, you know? And I followed them a lot, and I've met them, two or three times in person, and they have a very well behaved little boy. He is just awesome. He is so well behaved, and he's traveled the world, right? He's traveled the world, and he's learning so much about different places. And that's the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be the ones that are raising our children and teaching our children, not the school teachers and the babysitters. God didn't give us children to give them to somebody else to raise. They're
Exactly.
ours, right? So that's a part of my life I will never, ever get back as long as I live. So when I see people like you guys that have children and you're here and you're building your businesses to make a change for your future and your children's future, it just melts my heart. Melts my heart.
Debra, I can see that you're in Mexico now, so congratulations that your dream
Yes.
came true.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much. And yesterday, I'm meeting with him and we had lunch, down on the water side of the city and of the ocean side of the city. And then we went to this beautiful park that I know here. And it's just, you're in the jungle. It's a park and it's in the jungle and you can walk through. And in the middle, there's a nice little, shop that they make fresh juices. They squeeze their own juices and make fresh juices for you, fresh daily. And it was just great going into areas like that. And it's places that they didn't see. Being here on vacation, they don't know about these places, because they're hidden gems that tourists don't go to. It's more for local people. So, it's beautiful here. If I want to go to the beach, I can go to the beach. The complex that I live in a duplex. I just moved actually. I was in a beautiful, beautiful home before, a fancy home, which I don't need fancy. That's something I've learned since I've been in Mexico. The owners of my home moved into it, so I had to move. And when I was looking at places, I thought, I don't need that big and fancy. It's just me, my two little chihuahuas, and my rescued kittens, right? And I don't need a big place. And I want to be with the Mexican people. So, and I had people say, "Really, you want to go to a Mexican community?" Well, I'm in Mexico. Yes, of course, I want to be with the Mexican people, right? I want to be with them. I like their culture. I like their food. I like everything about Mexico. So I'm in a community. There are other, Canadians in the community, but most of the people here are Mexican. I'm in a duplex, not a single home. And it's still three bedrooms, but I only use two of the bedrooms because I can't believe I accumulated so much stuff in 5 years living here. But I have the downstairs bedroom just for storage and things. So, I still have my two bedrooms and three full bathrooms, and it's just smaller. So my kids asked me, well, what do you think about? And I said, well, it's like living in the camper. It's a little bit bigger than the camper, but it's like living in my camper. And I didn't mind living in my camper. I have a beautiful camper back in Canada, that I stay in when I'm home in the summertime. And I really like it. There's two swimming pools for the community. So if I go to one and it's got a lot of kids in it, if the kids I know them, I'll get in with them. If I don't, I go to the other swimming pool. So it's you got everything. And then the street I'm on is dead end. I'm in a gated community, and even the street that comes into the gated community is dead end. So I take my dogs out walking outside, up around and down, and Like, it's nice. It's just a nice area, and I like it. It's not fancy. And I learned from the Mexican people. I'm sort of getting off here now. I learned from the Mexican people that their homes are not their priority in life. Their families are their priorities. They can live in a one-room place and they all sleep in hammocks. They eat amazing food. They cook, but they cook outdoors because you don't need to cook inside. They cook outdoors, and they're only in their homes to sleep. The rest of the time, they're outside. The children are outside playing. They're not inside on the games, right? They're outside playing, and and when it comes to Christmas, like, we've spoiled our children. Like, we've super spoiled our children, It's gift after gift after gift. And most of the time they don't even know, Christmas morning after they're open what they even got. Or even if they like it, you give them gifts and they're like, oh, how do I hide that so I don't have to, and it's like, here they don't teach their kids about Santa. No Santa. So, if they do celebrate Christmas, it's one gift. But most of the time, they celebrate here what is called Three Kings Day, which is January 6th. That's the day they celebrate because the three kings took gifts to Jesus. So each child is allowed one gift at that, if the families can afford it, you know? And we do that through our church, which we're preparing for now. Last year we had 600. This year we expect double to that. But 2 years ago, I gave a gift to a little boy here, about 5 years old. And he came running up to me after he opened it, hugging my legs and just, "Wah, wah, wah." And I didn't know what he was saying. He's speaking Spanish, and I can understand some, but I couldn't understand one word he was saying. So I got somebody to come over, and what he was saying was, "You're the best grandma in the whole world. That's my very first present ever." And it was a dinky car and a beanie baby. And he cried and sobbed. And to this day, that was 2 years ago. He's 7 years old now. And to this day, when he sees me, he runs and hugs me and still thanks me for that dinky toy and that beanie baby. And he still has them. He tells me about it, where he keeps them, and he still has them. Now, we give our kids thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gifts, and you don't get a thank you like that. What have we done for our children, right? So we best thing we can do with our kids is join this online business and be with them, right? That's the best thing we can do. And then you have finances that you don't have to buy everything all in one time. You can cut back on the Christmas and they can get what they need throughout the year, right? And then everybody can go back to the true meaning of Christmas. Sorry, gals, I get on to this. But I love
That's amazing. Yeah.
learned so much from the culture and the people here and the different ways of living. And, they all drive nice cars and they have the clean. I still can't get my clothes as white as they get theirs. I don't know how they do it, but they wear the whitest, cleanest clothes all the time. Right?
Your story very, very inspiring us. I know, like, we all know that you start this business at the age that you are going to retire very soon. Nobody, anybody gonna say, "What, you start business at 60 years old? You're gonna retire soon?" But you did it.
Yeah.
So, and you overcome a lot of obstacles, and now you have been achieving a lot of success and joy and happiness. So could you please sharing with us about what do you think, how important when we have a right mindset to be success in this business?
Well, you know what? We can do whatever we put our minds to. And I really believe that a lot of people forget that they're worthy. We're worthy of success. We're worthy of love. We're worthy of happiness and we're worthy of joy. right? And a lot of people forget that. I forgot that at times too. When bad things happen in your life, it's like, what have I done to deserve this? Why me? And, and I don't know about you guys, I probably said that many times over my life. Why me? Why is this happening to me? And, life doesn't happen to us personally. It's life. There's death. There's bad things happen in life. But it's our decision, and it's always a decision, is how we're going to handle these bad things that happen in our life. We can get depressed. We can think, oh, this doesn't work for me. I can't do this. But you know what? That's stinking thinking. And we have to get stinking thinking out of our lives, because if it takes putting sticky notes, and I did this, sticky notes all over your house. I am worthy. I am worthy. I can do this. I am loved. I am a success. And that was long before I became successful. I am a success. I can do this. I am worthy. I can learn. This is where I'm supposed to be right now at this time. This is where I'm supposed to be. And if we're all content with where we are right now and grateful for what we have, right? We have to learn to be grateful for what we have in order to get more. Because if we're not grateful for what we have, how does it seem like, how does God know, or the universe, or whoever it is you believe in, how do they know that you're going to be grateful when you've become successful if you can't be grateful for where you are right now? Right?
Yes.
I am so grateful I am where I am right now. I am so grateful for my family, for my grandchildren, for, my community, my online family. I call you guys all my online family, and I am so grateful for each and every one that I have met in my life. Because like I said, it's the people in this business that makes me want to get up in the morning. It's the people, because I come to the computer. Look, I never would have met you guys, right? Helen, I know Helen, but you gotta be, you gotta be able to have something to look forward to in life. And like I made a statement one day, I wasn't ready to sit in a rocking chair and wait to die. Because when you retire and you can't afford to do anything, let alone have proper food to eat, you're going to sit in a rocking chair and wait to die. Right? I wanted to sit in a rocking chair because I love my rocking chair. I wanted to sit in a rocking chair and learn how to live again. Right? And by doing this online business, that has taught me that. And someone said, well, wow, you're going to be 68 years old, and you're still doing this business. You're still not retired. And I said, this is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. And I look forward to it. I look forward to waking up in the morning. I look forward to coming to my computer. I look forward to looking at my scheduler and saying, oh, who do I talk to now, right? Who do I get to meet today? This is not work. And if I can help just one person a day, then I've done my job, right? And I love it. And I just can't understand why everybody, doesn't matter, like I say, 18 or 100, why they're not looking at this business, And yeah, we know not everybody's going to do it, but that's okay. We're going to love them anyways, because we don't need them. They need us. We're the ones that have the pot of gold. We have that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and we are holding it right out like this, just waiting for them to come and reach in and take their portion, right? So, when you learn that, they need us, and we're here and willing to help them, because I don't want to see anyone go through the challenges in life that I went through. I went through a lot of challenges in life. It wasn't easy raising 6 kids on the East Coast of Canada, on $30,000 a year. And, when you make more than that a month, that just blows you away. When you can make that much money a month, that blows. The first time I made, more than that, in 1 month, it was like I'm adding up my check stubs and I'm adding them up. My daughter said to me, Mom, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm adding these up. She said, Mom, you're an accountant. Guaranteed the first time you added them, they were correct, you know? And I said, but I just, you know, sometimes it's just hard to see reality. It's hard to believe that, you know, this actually happens to people, you know? And it's such an amazing business. And like I say, not everybody earns at the same level. It doesn't happen quickly for everybody. Sometimes it takes us, some of us, like me, a little longer than others. But so what? What am I going to be doing? Now, if I had it when I started this business, if I had not have started it knowing, you know, I was going to have to give myself a couple of years or more to build this business, where would I be today if I hadn't started it?
Right.
I've been broke and living with somebody else because I would not have been able to afford to live on my own. Like, you know, what would have happened, you know? So that's all these people need to look at is, where will I be in 5 years? And at my age, when I was looking at that, like I had a few choices. I could be a burden for my children and living off of them. Maybe I'm living on the street. Maybe I'll be dead. But where will I be if I don't try? I can't get past those 3 options. I'll never get past those 3 options if I don't try something different. Change doesn't happen unless you do something about it. And we're the only person that can make a change in our own lives. Like, you can't make me successful and I can't make you successful. But I can tell you a company to go to that has a perfect training program that will guide you in every step, and everybody will help guide you and encourage you while you're building your business. But don't ever quit. There's only one way to fail in this business, and that is to quit. Don't quit. You know, if you need to step back and take a break, step back and take a break, but don't quit. Right? I'm a firm believer if you work 1 hour a day, you get paid for 1 hour a day. You know, this business, we can work it and like work hard at it to get it to where it needs to be. Then you get it to a place that you're having money coming in every month. Then you can sort of just sit back and help other people. Then it's not work anymore. Then it becomes fun, you know? And that's why I enjoy it so much today, because I can help other people do the same thing.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Debra, for sharing. What are your like last words for everybody, for all the dreamers out there with their biggest dream that they want to achieve, they want to reach, but how can they reach those dreams?
Never forget your why. Never forget your dreams. Don't ever walk away from your dreams, because a lot of us, when life happens, like our dreams, we lose our dreams. And that's a sad part, because that's when your life starts going downhill, when you forget your dreams. Don't ever forget your dreams. If it takes putting a picture on the fridge of where you want to go, or in your bedroom, or wherever, in your phone, on your, you know, your desktop or your phone or whatever, put your dream there, whether it's your children, or you want to travel, or if you want to, you know, see your grandchildren, whatever your dream is, because we all have different dreams. We have different whys in life. If it's a new home, if it's, you know, if it's just to be happy, put a picture of you on there smiling, you know, because you look at that every day and then you think, I have to work for that. I have to, you know, I have to challenge myself. That is when I started living by faith, not fear. Because when I started this business, I was afraid of putting my picture on Facebook. I was afraid that people were going to look at me through my camera, you know, without even having it turned on. I was afraid to talk on Facebook. And here I am talking to people every day, right? But I was afraid of almost everything. I was afraid I was going to mess up my computer. I was afraid I was going to do it wrong. I was afraid I was too stupid. I was afraid of everything. So finally, it just like one day well, actually my 12-year-old grandson said to me, Grandma, I got to wave to this little guy. He said, Grandma, You have told us all our lives that we can be whatever we want to be if we just put our mind and heart to it. He said, well, I'm telling you that today. I said, oh my God, my words are coming back to haunt me here, right? So that's the day that things changed in my life. I started living by faith. I started believing in myself without a doubt. I can do this. I can do this. There will be a way, no matter if I can't financially have the money, I will find a way. I can do this. I am worthy. I am loved. I am successful. Not I'm going to be successful. I am successful. And you keep repeating that to yourself every day, and finally you start believing it. You know what? Every once in a while in your mind, you get that stinking thinking. I'd say, get out of there. I am worthy. And, you know, some people would sort of look at me because if I got things in my mind, I said it out loud. I am worthy. I am loved. I am successful. Right? And I would say those things. And we just have to do that. So please don't let someone else steal your dream, because other people will try to steal your dream. Don't let it happen. You know, we don't have to fight and bicker and all this, but never lose your dream. Always keep your dream, because you know what? It will happen. It will happen. You know, I was 62 years old before my dream came true. And why Mexico? I don't know. I just always wanted to live in Mexico from the time as a young child. And, you know, 62 years later, here, you know, I've been here for 5 years now. 62 years old, I moved to Mexico. And it was a dream come true. And today I'm still living here. Will I stay here forever? I don't know. Maybe I'll move to another country. You know, maybe I'll go visit, because, you know, I got a big bucket list now again. I fulfilled my bucket list. I don't know if anybody ever did that, but I fulfilled my bucket list. It wasn't very big because I had dreams, but your dreams seem to stay within your budget, right? Get a bucket list and list those things on there that are so far away from what you think can happen right now, but they're things you want to do. Get it on that list, and don't ever waver from it. And don't ever waver from that you're worthy, right? Join this business, check it out. You'll never know unless you check it out for yourself. And I had one lady say to me, well, what if I fail? What if you succeed? People's not just afraid of failure, they're afraid of success. They're really afraid of success. What am I going to do if I succeed? Right? So, you know, and don't be afraid of failure either, because you got to fail to be a success. So, you know what? You go up, you go down, 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 you go up, and finally you get to the top. Right? So don't ever be afraid, and don't ever think you're too old for people. Don't ever let anybody think you're too old. Send them my way. I'll talk to them, because you're never too old to live your dream. And there's
Yes.
too many people that and they've lost their dreams.
Is there nothing impossible, right, Miss Debra? Yes.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, Miss Debra.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thanks again for coming with us to inspire, to motivate us for everyone out here. And I just want to talk Vietnamese a little bit with our Vietnamese people. Yes, hi, xin chào mọi người đã nghe chia sẻ của bà Debra về cái hành trình làm biz của bà rồi. Từ một người mà ở tuổi 60 là lẽ ra là về hưu rồi, được về hưu, nhưng mà bà đã hoàn toàn là bị phá sản, và cơ duyên đó cũng là cơ duyên để cho bà đến với lại cái mô hình kinh doanh này, và nó đã thay đổi cuộc đời bà. Và bà có cái chú ý, một điều chú ý ở đây là những người cha người mẹ hãy chú ý đến con của mình nhiều hơn, tại vì cái cuộc sống của mình đừng có nghĩ là cái tiền sẽ có thể là lo được hết cho con cái của mình. Tất cả là từ tình yêu thương của mình. Hãy take care con, hãy chăm sóc con nhiều hơn, hãy lo lắng, hãy quan tâm tới con của mình nhiều hơn nữa. Và mình hãy tin là mình thành công, mình hãy tin là mình là người thành công, chứ đừng nói là mình sẽ thành công. Hãy luôn luôn tin tưởng là mình là một người thành công, thì mình sẽ trở thành một người thành công trong tương lai của mình. Cảm ơn mọi người đã theo dõi cái buổi 90 ngày với Digital Business của mấy chị em của mình. Và hẹn gặp lại mọi người trong những cái buổi go live tiếp theo trong hành trình này
Okay,
nha.
okay, so
Cảm ơn và bye. Thank you. Bye, Miss Debra.
Bye bye. Thank you so much for
Bye.
having me. God bless. And I
Yeah.
have to run now, so I will.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
We
you for
love
your
you
time.
too.
God bless.